crews and guests.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, the pizza eaters. I will just ask you 2 more minutes, and then let's get in. Let's start the event. So take your pizza, bring your drinks, and let's get started.
Find a way to get it to stand up.
Good, stand up. How about this? You flip on here, will that work? No, it's too heavy. Maybe press this against the wall, something like that? That's good, I think.
That's going to last like for 5 seconds.
Probably. Yeah, but you can see everything that's going on. Yeah, well, you're fine.
Can I give you the mic?
No, I don't need one. Hello, everybody. How are we?
Good, right?
Are we awake? Are we alive? Are we at Welcome to Better Space. It's the first time we've ever run one of these here at Better Space. It's lovely to have you here today. If you don't know already, we rotate between venues for the next year. So last time we launched that, they were here, and on October the 9th we're at Bay, so we can things back to great. We've got 4 startups today, 3 in person, 1 online. Have we got that right?
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
And tonight I would like you to fiddle with your devices all the way. Okay, so I will get your phones out, and I'd like you to go to menti.com and stick that code in, and you will be able to see all the slides that happen, and you'll also be able to vote and add questions into there interactively as you want all the way through. That's really cool for everybody, it really helps. And when we finish, we're going to get a PDF, which is everything that everybody's contributed tonight. Okay? The first contribution thing will come up in a second. And if you want to know more about Canopy, go to the Canopy community and you just click that. All right, and our membership stuff is there. That's membership if you want to join. What I should tell you is everybody who is a member of Better Space or a member of the Launch Lab will have bundled in their opt-ins of choice, membership to Canopy and the portal, all the courses and the mentoring and things that we offer as part of the that's free to you. If you opt in, just pick one of the community members. Okay. These 2 are in charge. Whatever they say you do. Just they stand up. Just stand up. Just stand up. Then obviously stand up. If they say wave at each other, then you wave at each other. Okay. Very good. You can sit down. Okay. So this is your first bit of contribution. Then you put into the words that come to your mind when you're thinking about stuff, like pain, suffering, failure, all this kind of stuff.
Success maybe instead.
Success, yes. Fun. Very good. Wi-Fi?
Yes, you would be connecting to a network named Metaspace. The password is demo. That would be DEMO, all caps.
Oh.
Metaspace.
Okay, and that code at the top is the one you can use to get into this particular set of slides. Okay. Where do you think Yana is from? Bolton. Bolton, yes. Bolton Yana. That's right. Bolton Yana. Where do you think she's from? Scandinavia. Sweden.
Oh,
Is that right? No.
almost.
Different food group, but same.
Same food group.
Okay, so Yana officially is from Oslo. Come here to be with you today. Where's Aisha from? Dublin. Dublin. Very good, yeah. Dublin Aisha is here from Bangalore. They've never presented together before. But they've both done demo nights before in other places. Okay?
Excellent.
Thank you so much for that. Now we know the system works. What's the next thing right there? Who put scary? Okay. Demo night tonight, for those giving a demo, it's 5 minutes of a demo and 5 minutes Q&A with the audience. These two lucky people are going to begin the questions, but the whole 5-minute thing is kicked off by you putting your questions into an empty fit to the demo. Okay? Number one reason we do this, or number one reason startups fail, is Yuri. What's the number one reason startups fail globally, consistently? Why do they fail?
Sales?
Money.
Money.
What?
Money. Money.
That's
Money.
number 3, believe it or not.
No.
Product fit?
Close.
They argue with their family partners.
That's actually number 2, is team. Right, and the team falling apart before they get successful. But number 1 is building stuff that people don't want to do. So the point of demo night is hopefully pitch night. Pitch night is give me some money, right? Demo night is, here's what I'm working on, how stupid am I? Okay? And the constructive loops of open feedback like this help the founders realise what's good, bad, and different about their ideas, and help to break down the number one reason why I fail, which is building stuff that maybe really cares enough about to hand over to someone in the time frame they have. Okay?
So again, welcome. So lovely to see you guys here today, and so lovely to be in sunny London. Sunny, really good sunny. So my name is Jana, and I'm co-hosting today with my beautiful co-host Aisha. We're very happy to be here. So there's, as you mentioned, there's going to be 4 startups. Your feedback and participation is very key because feedback, constructive feedback is so important. We have also 2 panelists with us today. It's James and Elizabeth. I will share with you some work. But also, you know, we have a bit of a difficult job because we have to be very much on time. So if the startups using 1 minute over, we will start cutting you off. And this is not to be rude, it's just like we do, we are very strict timekeepers, and that's our job for today. So again, this is a very intimate space, which is lovely. So please bring your questions, pick each other's brain, and let's get started. Okay, so today we have 2 panelists with us. James, perhaps you can stand up and just say who you are.
Hey, I'm James. Nice to see you all this, but really excited for this great session. So to introduce me, I'm non-exec, very small firm, that's managing advisory to private equity backed companies. And I'm also in the process of supporting the launch of a business called Whole People that will work with businesses to transform change. Great to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you. So just one thing, do you guys hear, do we need microphones? Or is it fine like that? Yeah, okay, one.
Hello, how are you? I'm excited to hear all your pictures of demos. This is Shaw. I'm a founder, scout, and community builder. So, founder, Thousand Black Voices, we're an inclusive global community of founders, investors, partners, you name it, in the community. And it's really about how can we make sure that we support our founders to access capital and grow their business. Investor, scout for Ada Ventures, and community builder is about bringing people together. And this is exactly what Stuart and we do here, all of you, in the community, Canopy community. So it's always a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
And then Aisha, I think we have also someone that is virtual with us, correct?
Yes, we do. We have one which is going to be done by MyDay, which is going to be virtual. Just a couple of pointers before we start off with our demos today. At the end of each of our demos, we have a quick survey. This is extremely handy feedback for everyone who's presenting today. So for all of you who have logged into MyDay, please make sure that you add in your comments once the demo is done for each of the companies. So right at the end of each demo, we'll have a quick part of the survey, which is going to be specially for the previous demo that we just saw. Go ahead, add in your feedback, add in your questions, and you're good to go. All right.
And then so our first startup, which is very interesting because I'm running an IT consultancy firm. And you know, when you start growing a business, it becomes more and more complex. And then you have all these projects and you have all these businesses and so on. So and you think, when my financial director asks me for some type of questions, I'm thinking, okay, now I'm going to go back to my Excel sheet and start which need this information. But I think there's a solution out here, at least that we're trying to build. So come and tell us what Supo is about.
Great.
5 minutes, no pressure.
5 minutes. Okay. My name is Yuri Prokhorov. I'm founder and CEO of Supo. On. Yeah? Okay.
Sounds like that.
On average, if you run a professional services firm, 1 in 3 of your fee earners don't make any money. It's a massive wastage issue in the industry, and it costs billions every year. So, we've made it out for professional services firms that services operational intelligence such that they can increase their profitability and cash collection. And what this slide is about is Jeremy, he's a law firm owner, he's got 120 lawyers, 10 million turnover, but really he could be doing not 1 in 3 lawyers losing money, but maybe 0.5 lawyers losing money, and that would be a significant impact on his organization. Everybody else is using other spreadsheets, clunky systems that they built their own, that really are quite expensive and take time. And the difference with Supo is that it's real-time, easier to understand, relevant insights in a SaaS product right there and then that you can grab. And the market is pretty big. About 21 billion TAM, 9% growth every year, and the opportunity here for us is a 10 million ARR business in 5 years. We've got a pretty experienced team. Everyone's, well, the senior management ran the businesses before, been successful in those businesses, and intimately know the professional services industry. And we've built the product, it works. We're revenue generating, we've got customers, and those customers are delighted because their profit margins are going up. So we are today in a place where we're looking for 250,000 investment SCIS to get ourselves spending almost entirely on sales and marketing, 500,000 ARR to get us to Series A fundraising. So, shall we do a demo? Okay, this is where I rest on the computer. You can see that, great. This is Supo. We highlight the key insights in the top left. Okay, that's not very good. Anyway, you can see the revenue there, the top gross profit, billing, work in progress. These are key indicators that professional services firms look at. Everyone's got a budget for their revenue that they want to hit. Everyone knows what their GP is, and at least everyone should know what their work in progress is. And what this gives the ability to look at the revenue and profitability of the organization at the top line, and then to be able to forensically drill in every project and every contract that you're doing. So typically this would be project managers with spreadsheets or something like that, whereas this gives you information right there in real time. There is your revenue, gross profit, billing, work in progress you've got going on. And actually you can see right here, the profitability, the revenue's gone up, but the profitability of this contract is going down. And you can see this in real time, you can speak to your project managers and take corrective action right there and then, rather than post-factum when the ship is sailed. We also look at efficiency of an organization, so how utilized people are. How many people do you have? Which people you would deploy that make you the most money, so here you can see utilization, how much billable time you're booking against your target, how much recorded time you're booking, and sort of a cross-organizational view of all your people, their billable targets. There you can see how well they're meeting those, their timesheet coverage, how well they're working time, and everything you need to ensure that the business makes the GP and the profitability that it needs and collects the cash that it also needs to do. And that's my 5 minutes up, I believe.
Wow. 3 minutes and 53. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that. So the first question, James. What's your first question to Yuri?
So you're gonna have to imagine this, and it's going to be a great leap. But imagine I'm a grumpy senior partner at a law firm that doesn't understand technology at all, and I like to spend the time litigating and having long lunches with clients. How do I fit this into my business?
Sure. Well, what I would say to you is the huge value that you bring in your business in doing litigation is actually doing what you're good at, litigation. But you need to do the operational bit of the business and make sure it's profitable. And the only way you can do that to continue what you're doing is to get the people you have to run the business for you. To get the business people to run the business for you, you need to give them targets and you need to measure those targets. You know Henry Ford's thing, you get what you measure. And so where we fit in is we give you a tool that you can use to analyze your people's performance in running your business so that you can focus on what you're good at, which is litigation, is what I would say.
And then the rest. Yes, Sam?
Who are your competitors in this marketplace?
That's a really great question. So there are three strands of them. Consultants who do BI solutions, sort of bespoke type analytics. Indirectly, professional services automation tools, because they try and do everything as an ERP system. Luckily, they're not very good at reporting. Those probably are the main two strands, and then sort of a freelance finance consultants who really like spreadsheets.
So what about things like MyDay.com? Don't they track man hours against?
No, Monday.com is really another spreadsheet. So what Monday does, it records data in, but it can't give you analytics. Actually, to get accountably correct revenue recognition, profitability, work in progress, that requires a lot of complex maths and coding, and Monday just gives you the ability to input data rather than analyze or surface the data.
Can I ask one more question?
Sure.
We're monopolising the time, but and what about accounting software like Sage or Quick?
Sure.
Doesn't that do this?
So what accounting software does, it says, here's your revenue, here's your GP, here's your EBITDA. Well done, you had a great month. But you can't answer the next question as, well, to get to that GP, which people gave you that GP, which project leaks profitability, which didn't. In fact, I was speaking to a large accounting group the other day, and they said out of 100 accountants that actually themselves use zero, only 1% do any kind of decent reporting out of zero other than P&L. So it really gives you aggregate numbers, but it doesn't give you the intelligence to drill in and actually make a difference in business. But sure, it tells you you've done well, or likely, that's not all.
Why are you focusing specifically on like the law industry? Why does it not translate to other industries?
It does. It's just a beachhead landing. You know, we're trying to raise money. We're trying to focus our marketing and execution on a very narrow sector. We're actually doing legal and software consulting firms, and they are ripe for it. Lawyers get timesheets and revenue, and software consulting firms have huge issues with profitability. So.
Yes.
So what's your actual, how much do you think you're going to be charging for this, and why do you think that's good value to your customer?
Sure, I'll try and do this very quickly. So we charge on number of people an organization has, and basically what we're aiming for so that our license fee is basically gets RI within the first 4 weeks. So for example, we know you at least make 100 grand back from GP, and therefore we price it to be about £12,000. And as it goes up, the big organization becomes the greater the benefit. We still sort of live in that first 4 6 weeks ROI back so we can feel comfortable about buying the solutions while at the same time while they're writing checks.
So, yes.
You're asking for 250, 245 SEIS,
Yes.
and how is that going to take you to Series A? I'd just like to know about that.
Sure, yeah. So essentially because we have a product and we're more or less breaking even now, really it's all about sales and marketing. The two routes really we're using at the moment is direct outreach and various forms of direct outreach, and we need a bit of marketing. So it's really about pressing gas to get to 500,000 ARR. That's the mission.
When?
12 to 15 months from now.
We actually captured 3 questions here, and I think that I can group them. One is like, how is data captured? And 2 is, again, how do I get all the data into this?
Yeah, this is a super common question. Traditionally, collecting data into systems has been very painful for organizations. It was spent months and years aggregating it. We have a unique technology which enables us to onboard someone really quickly. So as long as data is available in whatever form, whether it's a spreadsheet, API, database, doesn't really matter, onboarding takes about a week at the most to get all the data connected. and we have a data quality tool within our platform that actually highlights to organizations where there are holes in their data that need to correct in order to make sure the insights they're getting are meaningful and accurate.
And one more, what would you say is your USP versus the competition? I mean, you kind of did already...
It's super accurate, it's real time, and it's available and designed specifically for professional services rather than all the other solutions which are super generic spreadsheets in one form or another, really.
That was 10 minutes. So, so here I guess, this is very, because again, feedback is everything, right? So we have collected a little bit of the feedback for you, Yuri, so hopefully this is very useful. And again, if there's any other questions, so after the session, just go to the founder and do ask them afterwards.
Okay. Thank you. The next company that we do have pitching in is solving a problem that's actually quite close to my heart, because I work in e-commerce and retail, and my God, are we the big bad people out there in the industry? There's nothing that we do that is probably going to be recognized as something that's good for the universe at large, that is good for the country at large, right, with the advent of fast fashion. So here we have a company which is solving a problem that you probably face in case you are looking at anything that's compliance or strategy for any fashion brand that exists out there, with the new set of laws around extended producer responsibilities. This is even more important, extremely relevant for us today. So could we have Gerard with Weft, please?
Thank you. Hi, I'm Gerard from Weft. This is a new spin-out opportunity from a company that's been doing some projects. I'll explain to you in a moment. I'm not looking for investment, I'm looking for industry contacts, and specifically the 30 biggest brands on the market right now, because they're the ones with the biggest impact in the market. Or if special bonus points you can get some central government and help us influence policy. The kind of customer we're talking to at the moment is someone who's a head of compliance or a company secretary, financial director level, who has a compliance problem. They can see EPR is coming down the road. It's new regulation which will charge them for putting products on the market. Already happens with packaging, with plastics, with batteries, with electricals. It's coming to clothing, and it's coming in the next couple of years in Europe and in the UK as well. For a large brand that sells about 100 million products a year, and they are large brands, the cost to them will be of the order of 10 to 20 million pounds a year, straight off the bottom line, and will be effectively a stealth tax, some of them are calling it. Our new system and technology helps them understand how they could reduce that fee by a mechanism called eco-modulation. So we can score individual products, explain to them how they can design those products better to get the score better and reduce their fees. I'll explain a bit more in the meantime. Co-founders, myself, and a colleague I've been consulting with for about 15 years now. We've got a lot of industry contacts, we've got a lot of industry engagement. We've also done a demonstration project on this, funded by Innovate UK, and we've got backing of the British Retail Consortium, backing of UK Fashion Textiles, British Fashion Council. So we've got a lot of industry behind us that are really gunning for this. And we're working with some major data players who can help us handle data securely as well. The reason it's important now is over the last 20 years, globally, we have doubled our consumption of clothing. It's not sustainable, it's not something we can continue to do and meet climate objectives. It has to come down, and governments are regulating on this right now. European Commission has put in place in 2 years' time, EPR will be in place across the whole of Europe. There's 26 member states that are going to have to put some mechanism in place to charge businesses for what they're putting on the market. Just recently, obviously, we changed government. The new minister related to this, Mary Cray, led the Environmental Audit Committee's investigation into fast fashion a few years ago. She's hot on this subject as well. So just to give you a quick view of what that looks like, we take all the sales data from brands, given we were working with some big brands, that's hundreds of millions of sales data points, and we take tens of thousands of product data points from their ERP systems and merge those together. And we can give them a quick dashboard of what these future scenarios will look like. If they end up with a fixed fee of 10 pence per item, which is what's being talked about at the moment, a brand like ASOS, selling 100 million products a year, that will cost them 10 million quid. If we can start to eco-modulate, we can start to break down which of these products, the big bubbles mean big big fee for that. We can find the big bubbles and we can help bring those bills down, and we can move these products across to a lower scoring system where they start to save some serious money. And year on year, they can bring their cost of compliance down in the future. So that's it. Any contacts you have, very welcome. Thank you.
Would you like to take over with the first question?
I guess the question really is, for me, what is the supply chain aspect of this that you're supporting to resolve? I want to know more about
So the first thing we did with the demonstration project was look at what we call circular factors, so things like recycled content, ability to recycle the product, its durability, and we've proven we can do that with data that exists already. The next phase we're going to look at things like the carbon and water impacts and things like certifications in the supply chain for social justice, for example.
So that's built into the system?
It will be, yes.
When is that going to be built in?
Well, that's the next phase that we're doing now, and we're getting some brands to fund that work already.
So they're funding?
Yes.
Any other questions from the audience? Yes.
I saw jeans was up there with Lycra. What was the ball at the very top? What was the biggest
They're notional examples, they're not real product examples, but the more complex a product, the harder it is to recycle, and the less likely it is to be of a circular source, so whether that's organic or what have you.
You might have said this already, but I think it's really a great initiative, and a very good presentation. So presumably something like the Design Council would be interested in supporting a product like this, because it seems they would be part of that whole
Yep.
circular economy.
Absolutely, and the challenge that often designers have is they don't have a financial imperative to change design, whereas this gives them that imperative.
Yeah. So have you approached the Design
No,
Council?
we haven't. We're still starting up, so yes, if you're interested in learning more.
Excellent. Anything else? We've got one question that we've received on Menti, which is, why is it called Weft? It's an interesting name.
So weft is, if you're weaving the garments, you have the warp, which are the tight strands, and you have the weft, which goes in between the strands. And the idea is our service is the shuttle, taking data to and from governments and brands to bring it all together and get a unified piece of fabric we can all understand.
That's pretty deep.
Yes.
How big is your team, and exactly like where are you on this entrepreneurial journey?
So we completed the demo project in May.
In May?
Christina and I have launched the project. We have two other shareholders from our consulting business, QSA. Between us we have a lot of experience, but we are just literally now starting up using subcontractors for technology, and we need to recruit. We're aware of that.
Yes.
Just interested, you've got the big 30, I think,
Yeah.
on the slide there. What's the most risky aspect of this industry, I guess? Where are they likely to have the biggest compliance problems? Is it going to be in the big brands, or is it going to be in possibly fast fashion? I'm just curious.
It will vary by product and by what scores the government agrees with industry are most important.
Yeah.
And the purpose of what we're doing at the moment is to inform that agreement. There is no agreement in place. So the biggest risk to us is government says it's all too complicated.
Yeah.
But we do have experience of taking industry-led solutions to government and getting them to agree to a change. So I've done that in the past with the digital printing industry, for example.
Yes.
I have a question. So I did something very similar. We were creating microplastic filtering system for the washing machines to recycle lycra, everything that is polyester, nylon made. And we got a lot of letters of intent. We spoke with EU, and everyone said this is brilliant, but it has to come up from the government, because it's all about the compliance and the law. Because if not, if you go to the washing machine manufacturer, because when we went there, we went to Miele, we went to Electrolux, they said like, we're aware of it, but the problem is the textile guys. And then when we went to the textile guys, they would say, no, but the problem is the washing machine guys.
Yeah.
So we were a bit like, okay. So I guess my question to you, because this is really good and this is very useful, but I know that you're very much you know, if there would be like a law immediately, everyone would do it. I'm sure that your phone would be calling quite a lot right now.
Yeah.
So how are you think, what's your strategy to overcome that and not to be in this?
So the British government will have something like a 2-year consultation period during which time this tool can be showcased and include people. And we can build a national level picture. So we can say to government, if you want to raise £500 million to fund recycling in the country, this is what the fee level needs to be.
Right.
Or if you say 10 pence per garment, this is how much money you can have.
Yeah.
And so we model that for them. But in parallel, the Dutch government's already implementing, looking at eco-modulation. We don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
The French government's been doing it questionably for 10 years. And so we can go to those markets as well.
We have a last question, which goes, is there an opportunity to partner with fashion leasing brands and or vintage resellers or businesses that can actually push the message across?
Absolutely, yes. And so the other side of this equation is how do you hand the money out? And we're talking with how we pass that money on to resale businesses to leverage more of their trade. So for example, to semi-subsidised postage to make it more cost effective for them.
Excellent. I think that's a wrap. Thank you so much, Gerard.
I think the next startup is very interesting. It's quite dear to my heart.
How did the vote come out?
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, Gerard. So this is some feedback for you. So the next startup is very, very interesting. Again, very dear to my heart because I really love art for like family friends, and of course that's dogs or cats. And when something is happening with them, we do feel, at least I feel very vulnerable, and I go into this panic frenzy, and I don't really know what to do because, you know, your pet is suffering, and you need to do something straight away. So, the NetVet, please come and tell me about
You carry on, you're doing a good job.
about the solutions that
I'm a little old school with my props. One of my presents. Lovely. Alex has miraculously changed from a pizza eating co-founder to a veterinary surgeon.
Significantly tighter in the last 10 minutes.
So Alex is a veterinary surgeon, and the idea of the NetVet is that you have essentially a veterinary surgeon with you wherever you go with your pets. Up here's a QR code for our download, to download our app. For tonight, there's a few things that we're asking for. One is that you support us in a few different ways. If you have pets, awesome, download us, and if you need those users, that'd be great. Secondly, you can just spread the word about Televet and telemedicine within veterinary, that'd be great. And thirdly, if you've got some cash, we'll take it. That's where we are with that. So, a little bit about us. 60% of households, I know already people have got pets in here, 60% of UK households have pets. So our market is potentially huge. We are, as I said, a televet service that gives you a vet in your pocket, and you picture it as having a vet as a friend that you can call upon whenever you need it. All our vets that we use are CBS registered vets, which means they're British licensed and licensed to practice in the UK. At the moment, we're only UK and we're using UK vets, but that can and will change. So where we are, if you've got pets, you may well have experienced some problems already, one of which is a rising cost of veterinary care. Since COVID lockdown, the price of veterinary care and veterinary consultations has risen by about 40%. It's way ahead of any type of inflation models that you might see. Affordability is a huge issue. One of the reasons for starting it is that I'm from Wigan, and there's a lot of low-income families in Wigan. We want to make veterinary care accessible to all as well. That's the nice to have, and as a result, we make cash. We make money. Last year, over 2 million pets weren't taken to the vets when they were ill because of affordability issues. That's a big one. And you may or may not be aware, if you've got pets, there's an increase in 6 big corporate companies taking over independent vets. They're still branded as independent vets, but 6 big corporates are taking over the world, which is causing the increased prices. So where do we come in? So we're affordable. Our membership fees start from £10 a month for unlimited access to a vet. We are unbiased. We're not affiliated to any insurance company yet. We're accessible to all and to anybody. Our access is instant. So there's no appointments, no scheduled consultations. If you need us,
request to speak to a vet, and take you straight through to one of our vets. So this is the team, myself, and Greg behind us are the co-founders. I've started a tech consulting and tech recruitment business 10 or 15 years ago and ran that. Greg has held sales director roles with Audio Cinemas, headed up. So what might be interesting to you, Jared, Greg currently works, rather than being full-time in the NetVet yet, Greg currently works in e-commerce, and I'm sure that could be all growing if you might have some introductions that fit for you. Alex is our Chief Veterinary Officer. Alex is a vet surgeon. Alex works with us full-time to make sure we're compliant with all things veterinary. And Cav, at the end, is one of our veterinary surgeons. Cav is away travelling Southeast Asia at the minute, our app. So one of the big problems as well is vets are overworked now because of corporate takeovers. Our app allows Cav to be travelling Southeast Asia and still work with us and access and help patients in the UK. Alex is an RBC grad. RBC is probably the most famous and the best recognised veterinary school in the world, arguably. And Alex, as well as making sure we're compliant with everything veterinary, works on the app answering questions. So upstairs before we came down, he was speaking to a pet owner about pancreatitis. There we go, in Bristol. So a little bit about our app and just show you what we look like and how it works. Am I pressing the top button?
No.
Are you going for it?
The one on the right. The one on the right? Yeah.
No. Awesome. This will just show you what our app looks like and how it works and how it looks like to a consumer.
If you have that at the app, there's a YouTube link. Oh, wonderful.
We can come back to that.
Here we go. I'll do this again towards the end.
Okay, cool. So we'll come back to what our app looks like to a pet parent a little later then. This is where I throw you over to Alex, who can tell you a little bit about the most common things vet might see in a surgical or clinical environment, and then how we as a NetVet might be able to help or work can help.
Yeah, so a lot of people might think you need to examine and see a pet to be able to, help and diagnose things, but actually at least 70% of issues can be solved remotely just through a conversation. Our app allows, text-based chat, but also video calls, so you can see animals in real time. And anything from nutrition advice, dietary issues, chronic kind of condition management, whether that's allergies or endocrine disease, arthritis, anything like that we can help with. As well as triaging sort of emergency cases and kind of working out how serious it is on the fly immediately. And second opinions, follow-up care, after people have been to a physical vet, we can provide that follow-up care. So there's loads and loads of applications for it. Prescriptions is a big one as well, so we are starting to be able to prescribe medication remotely, obviously where appropriate, and that's a massive benefit to our service as well.
This all started, my dog's got allergies, and we might show you later on a picture of that. And I went through a whole process of about 2 or 3 years and spent probably 3,000 or 4,000 going through his allergy process. The vast majority of that's going to be done remotely online. With the exception of the blood test, everything else could be done remotely. So that was the inspiration behind this. And what comes to fruition from speaking with vets is just the amount of conditions that can be sorted out remotely or being resolved remotely that need to go there. So why now? And the stats. So I'm going to rattle off some stats. UK veterinary spend is bigger than ever. 2022 is the latest figures about how much we spent in the UK on veterinary care. It's £5.3 billion on veterinary care alone. 86% of pet owners last year said they'd seen the cost of veterinary care increase. 47% of pet owners are worried about how they'll pay for vet bills moving forward. 4% have cancelled insurance. 9% of owners have delayed taking their pets to the vets when they were ill. And this year, the Competition and Markets Authority have deemed the number of independents being taken over by these corporate practices enough of a concern to launch an investigation into vet fees.
So, and I think so.
Very good.
And that's all.
Is
Right
it?
now, and then yes, so.
One last thing, because as well as giving you a great service, we can save the world. So if 70%, it's a pretty big claim over there, the 70% of consultations can be done remotely, we work out, given those figures, there are no conservative figures about pet numbers, that we will save, if 70% of consultations went remotely,
it would say 150 million miles being driven annually to get to and from the vets, based on 5 miles being travelled each time somebody goes to the vets. And that's 1.7, I've done this research somewhere. 1.7 million trees need to be planted each year to consume that much CO2. Or to take up that much CO2.
I'm going to take a minute here for technical difficulties.
So I think right now, because it's over 5 minutes now, so I will have to cut you off.
Okay.
But I will go to the first question. James.
Yeah, so it's not my question actually. During the presentation I got a text message from Hudson the Labrador, who was curious to know exactly what is the scope of things you can look at, because he's imagining going into the vets, he's got a sore paw, he can't tell you what's wrong. How does the technology support your diagnosis?
So that allows text messaging, it allows you to send photos and send videos, and it also allows live video calling as well. So, you know, whether the owner prefers to send the photo, we can assess it there and then, or we can start a live video call as well and talk the owner through how to assess their animals, you know, sort paw, and show the different aspects of it. And then we can perhaps, you know, suggest things to do at home that you can help, suggest medications that you can try, or obviously if you need to go to the vet, we can suggest that as well, and at least you've got the reassurance that, you know, you're doing the right thing, you're making the right trip, and, you know, it's a valid reason to go.
Can you prescribe through the course? So if he needs medication?
Yes, depending on the medications. There's certain medications that we'll never be able to prescribe, so things like antibiotics, antiviral medications, you know, they're protected drugs, and probably rightfully so, you need to examine an animal to prescribe those. But lots of medications like steroids, pain relief medications, anti-allergy medications, so, you know, a lot of sore paws are related to allergies in dogs, so that's something we can prescribe remotely. So yeah, the scope is massive for what we can provide.
Arthritis is a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can prescribe.
How much would you charge for prescription? Sorry,
Initially free for prescriptions.
So it'd be within the £10 range?
Yeah.
Wow, because my vet charged me like 50 quid.
Yeah,
just to write it.
that's £30, yeah.
So as we grow, we want to start our pharmacy, our own pharmacy as well. And that's something we obviously we could prescribe and supply our own drugs. Yeah.
There are.
There are about 5 or 6 other people out there. The USPs that we've got are we're instant. A lot of the others maybe charge per consultation.
Yeah.
We're charging a membership fee. And then a lot of the ones you have to book a consultation in, where we're direct access. And if the app was there, we basically got a couple of options. We have a speak with a vet button. Click that and it takes you straight to Alex and Cav are both working. I mean, they'll both get push notifications saying somebody wants to speak to you about whatever it might be.
You've got more continuity as well, so you can talk to the same vet, you know, throughout your journey essentially.
How many vets do you need per 100 customers or per whatever customers?
So,
How
yeah.
often do they call?
It's a question that we're sort of still working out, because in physical practice it's about 1 vet per 1,000, you know, animals or clients. Whereas through telemedicine we're hoping to be able to service a lot more remotely.
We think it's probably going to get to 1 vet per just over 3,000 users.
3 to 5,000 potentially.
That's probably what we're looking at.
Can I just speak to that a little bit? I was involved with push docs in the very early days, which is kind of the human version, I guess. And one of the major issues they had, because GPs were so rammed with basically work, I guess, like vets, the scalability was really, really difficult. And I'm curious what your thoughts are about getting over the scalability issue, because you're advertising.
Scalability being an attraction of vets.
Yeah, having enough vets to generate.
So when we first started NetVet, so when we first had the idea, one of our concerns was how do we attract vets? Neither Greg and I or our vets, how do we get this pool of vets? It's become more evident that that isn't an issue at all. There are vets clambering to work in telemedicine, partly because of the increasing pressure they're feeling from the corporate environment. So, you know, they're pressurised to sell medication, sell supplements rather than just provide pet.
And I guess it can work from home. Which
Like Cav at the minute is working in Southeast Asia.
Yeah. And vets often do shift-based work as well, so you get a lot of vets that will locum, you know, do a day here and there in practice, but then also being able to do a day at home. You know,
there's a big group of vets who are on maternity leave as well.
Yeah.
Can do 3 hours.
Go. Because you talked about the operations, which is great, but I guess I want to move back to you asked for money at the beginning. Can you tell me about that?
So we're bootstrapped at the minute. We've got limited funds. What we really need to know, so we spent our money developing the app, and we're probably better than MVP stage. We're quite pleased with our app. It works and functions. We've tested it. We've got real feedback from real consumers. We've spent this summer going to dog shows. As painful as they are, we've got real feedback from people who've got pets and pets owners. And we've taken on board, and prescribing is one of the big things that we've taken on board, and we've made a conscious effort to make these partnerships across the country with physical 24-hour vet hospitals that allow us to prescribe. What we need the money for now is getting names to masses. We need to throw money into marketing and sales and brand awareness. On top of that, we also need to we've got ambitions to introduce AI to some extent into our app. We want to take it. We want to go international, and we also want to have an e-commerce offering. So we need to develop all that offering as well.
What's the AI going to do?
So the AI could do a few things. AI might translate. So Alex might get a query, and AI can translate it into a different language and present an AI vet on screen, giving answers to whomever. AI, we ideally would like to monitor all the questions that get asked and all the answers that our vets give on the app as well over 10, 15, 20 years, whatever it might be, and create an AI system that recognises and could possibly diagnose. Google have just developed an AI that for human medicine that can pass doctor's exams. If we can get anywhere close to that, we'd be laughing. But these are things that play in our mind as well about what might happen in 10 years' time and where we might be.
Sorry, 10 years' time. Is that?
So the AI that we collect now is based on the questions and answers that we get from our consumers and our
the
vets.
benefits coming in 10 years' time?
Or whatever it might be. That will depend on the regulation from the RCVS as well. So the RCVS regulate all veterinary practices.
It's just to understand also that technology is moving so fast, but what you've got in mind with developing your own data set is so very important, and that's what's going to keep you defensible. Well, you know this, but that's really important, and of course that's what's going to be your IP. So that's what I'd be interested in.
It is. So the IP is a huge thing as well, but the global market is so big, there's space for a few competitors in the market.
So I know there's a lot of questions, but can you please just
If
hold them?
anybody's got questions about animals as well,
Yeah, so
and they
just,
want to ask Alex afterwards, this is the prime example of what it'd be like being a member of the NetVet.
Printing me out.
Yeah, I'll ask them later.
I'm used to it.
Thank you so much.
Can we actually show what it looks like?
They do have it in there, so they
Okay,
can
cool.
see
Okay, cool.
everything on the demo. Apologies for some technical challenges, and then please
Cheers.
do save your questions and do speak with
sorry.
them afterwards.
Cheers.
And I guess let's see if we see the pool. Some feedback for you guys.
This is
That was my dog with going through some allergy tests and she had her ears, bits of her ears chopped off, and takes a key role in our organisation.
Absolutely. And for that one question that we had about what's in it for Canopy members, for any Canopy member who is essentially trying out the app, here's a special deal that the team
Yeah,
is
and give you
doing.
the first month membership for £1.
Absolutely. And there we go.
That's the
Here
feedback.
we are.
Thank you, NetVet.
Excellent. And next up, we have James with MyDay. James is joining us remotely. So a quick sneak peek into what we are expecting here, right? Imagine a universe where all of your social governance responsibilities and liabilities could be taken care of quite happily and extremely enthusiastically by your employees, right? So how do we figure out that middle ground where we're looking at someone within our team taking care of themselves and also making sure that they give back, whether that is to the environment or whether that is to the corporate cause that we are currently working for. MyDay has come forward and made a really exciting and interactive method to ensure that we have ESG compliance while finally engaging the employee. So let's hear more from James. I am going to have James present for this part. James, this one's for you. There we go. 1 second.
James, where are you based? Where are you from?
I'm in the West Devon. Cool. Is that all working all right, Isha?
Yes, that is working fine.
Right. Thank you very much. I'll just get my stop clock going because I talk a lot. So, good evening. Thank you very much. Super excited to be presenting to you. And as I say, apologies I can't be there in person. I'm going to be talking to you tonight about MyDay. As I say, we're the only wellbeing engagement platform that delivers real-world social impact for organisations at scale. I'm James. My background is in professional sport. I spent 21 years in elite professional rugby, playing and coaching human performance, and I got to the stage whereby I wanted to help less privileged people do more privileged things and understand the impact of health, and knowing that bottom lines for organisations are human capital and not cash. In a world where we talk about AI, large language models and everything in between, it's all driven by our people. How we look after our people has never been more important. The rise of millennials, Gen Zers, we know in this country the problems with NHS, healthcare in America, the prevention revolution is upon us. And I believe that with MyDay, the next generation of B2B SaaS wellbeing is going to be driven by engagement, combining activity, personalised data and peer support communities to deliver reportable social impact and personalised experiences. And for too long, at digital destinations that enable also drive people to black holes as opposed to supporting people where they are. Right now, I need to change my screen, which is going to be the real test. Can we all see that one? No, it doesn't.
No.
We'll change it in 2
Sorry,
seconds.
James. Could you share the screen and not the tab?
Yeah, I'll go to try that. Thank you. This is right.
Oh. Wrong screen. Maybe.
Wrong tab.
Wrong tab. Wrong screen. Oh no. Is he still there?
Yeah.
Bear with us, guys. This is the first time we're doing it virtually.
It's going really well.
Let's say everything crashed. Apologies. I'll try quickly.
James, can you hear us? Yes, we can.
Yeah.
We are almost able to see this.
Perfect.
2 seconds. It's on the right side. Can everyone see that?
Yeah. Perfect.
So this is us, whereby we have a platform that allows healthy habits and behaviours, which is the most original idea in the world, to be rewarded with donation to causes people care about. And everything that we do, which revolves around employee engagement, supporting employees, and healthy habits and behaviours are rewarded with these donations. And no matter where they are or how they deliver them, we inspire 3 major things. Number 1 is activity, so making sure that organisations can be active and engaged in whether that be steps, minutes, they want to do it as an individual, as a group, as a business. That is one part of what we do. The other piece is community. This community, which is making sure that we allow to be supported as early as possible in things that really matter to them. So whether that be parents, carers, LGBT+, women's health, chronic pain, cancer, diabetes, we've formed this clinically moderated peer support groups around the particular areas of health that really matter and engage people in whether there be content or productive conversation to ensure that as early as possible we can make sure people are being supported as often as possible. There's nothing more important, as I've learned in sport, than like-minded individuals of similar lived experience coming together to support one another and create behaviour change. Alongside that, obviously got additional content. And then finally, the last piece that I just want to share with everyone is the reporting structure for the organisation. We have understood from conversations with some incredible organisations that social impact in the ESG agenda is harder and harder to report. And we've been able to report the S really clearly through onboarding a health list and driving financial investment, social impact for the organisation, adhering to the UN Sustainable Development Goals and social impact frameworks alongside with the environmental benefits of the programme, whether that be carbon reduction, improving people's health, time off, social media, and a whole host of other things. Then finally, in terms of traction, we have got enterprise traction in the UK and the US with a major development partner. This is one of the major tech hardware firms in the US. We've got a big blue chip UK traction as well, which is going to POC in 25. We've also got a channel partner through our first design partner in the US, which is helping us go to market over that. So hopefully that's my minutes on that. Not to fill any questions and hear what people have to ask.
Excellent. Thank you for that, James. Yes. Elizabeth, would you have something that you'd like to quickly chat on?
Can I just ask you how you're going to ensure defensibility in the market?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the biggest defensibility in this space is going to be engagement and creating a tool that works. We've seen, and I've had conversations with, the Headspaces, the Virgin Pulses, the Limeade Ones, the Calms, that they leave behind them, a trail of design for consumers, but not designed for the work environment. And we believe that by living close to the workflow, integrating with human capital management platforms and being personalized, then we create an opportunity to drive utilization, which will be our calling card. That's the thing, that's the area that we're solving in the space, engagement in preventive health for people by making it relevant, making it timely, and making sure that we can deliver something that really matters as opposed to just content, creating experiences for people that actually impact their life.
And can I just ask a follow-up on that? So who's in the marketplace at the moment, and what's the benchmarking with them? Have you got any benchmarking?
You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry, I can't do anything like that.
Sorry, just a follow-up question on that. I wanted to know more about your competitors and what you do that's different to them.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of competition, they say that there's one community-based platform called Togetherall. Outside of that, all of them are, strictly digital, and in terms of engagement, don't key into the current work platforms. We want to say we are integrating, and we've been very fortunate that our technical director led the Oracle HR platform development of their cloud and the AI of all of their tools. And he is helping us to develop a system whereby all of the human capital management platform data will help us to ensure that we create personalized experiences for people, whether it's not people who haven't taken days off, whether it's people going on maternity leave and recommending communities to them. So there's threefold. Number one is the engagement piece, number two is consolidation of a number of tools, and number three is the social impact reporting piece. And so nobody is doing any of those as a joined up solution.
Thank you. Excellent. Any other questions?
Yes. So, James, where are you exactly on your journey?
We're in our journey. We 3 years in. I got it really, really wrong initially. So having come from teaching people to lift weights to moving into tech was certainly a wider jump than I anticipated. But then since then we started generating revenue, enterprise revenue on the 1st of January with our design partner in the US. We have got verbal agreements with another enterprise and with a big 37,000 employee hospital trust. We've raised our SCIS Angel Fund, and we're now looking to go to pre-seed. There was one other thing I wanted to say, and there was pre-seed raise. All of our product development has been funded over the last year by our design partner, all non-equity binding, because of the promise they see with us going to market and taking us to market as a part of their services offering.
James, we've got one question that's come in over Menti, which essentially asks if you already have paying customers.
Yes, confirmed paying customers. Yes, we've got some SME clients who have been part of our sandbox, who have paid us minimal fees, but our first considerable revenue starts January 25. And that is also taking out one of our major competitors from the organisation that we're working with as well.
Excellent. And the last one that we have over here is why do people use the app over a power app or a fitness app?
So the water, apologies.
Why would people use MyDay over a power app or a fitness app?
I mean, I don't think you can ever say if you try to please everyone, you'll please nobody. What we do know is that the ability to be able to create community is incredibly powerful. We've seen the power of that in social networks, and when we're dealing with critical life issues, that's where we see our avenue and entry point. It's the preventative health piece of the journey, as opposed to necessarily trying to replace a MyFitnessPal or a potential point solution. And it's about making sure that we can signpost really well. We become a front door to health for everybody involved. And then finally, your business is paying you to donate to a cause that you care about, to uplift the community that you live in, to make sure that you're supporting a cause that's greater than just profit. This is about people, profit, and sustainability long term. And this is about doing the greater good and making sure you work for an organisation that sees responsible business as the next opportunity to be part of the value proposition. So that's where we see that piece. And say, will we have 100% engagement? No, we will not. Do we see the movement towards responsible business? Absolutely. And this is a huge part of being able to deliver that regularly, day in, day out, and have it as part of the workflow.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that, James. And we will quickly get on to the Menti pools. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And there we are.
Well, that's good. At least 3.9. People get it. That's really, really good.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And
Thank you very much.
with that, for the next question, favorite demos for today?
So if you go to the next question on the app, so you can rate
Yes.
on that. Of course, the one that has been giving the demo, maybe not rating.
Perhaps we want to look at utility first, as in how do you find the demo usable? Does it have an application for you, or is this something that is solving an active problem for you today? Because then there is scope for the founder or for the person who's presented to also take feedback from you and explore opportunities, so perhaps accordingly.
Thank you. You can be like the player's player.
Because we're done with absolutely all the demos, and again, thank you also so much for the presenters and for you also to be here. And of course, as we mentioned before, like your feedback is so key. So I think we could go to the next one. So we've seen that the demo, the first one is the NetVet, the second one is the Supo, third one is the Weft, and the fourth one is MyDay. I know that there was a lot of questions to the NetVet still, so please do catch them. I also have some questions to you guys as well, so I will also be catching you by the way. You did that. Go for it. So again, this is something that we're doing on a monthly basis, and your feedback is again very, very key. So would you recommend to a friend, because we do, as James was mentioning, the power of community is so key here, and we are a community, we do support each other, and we always try to help each other along the journey. So if you did like this edition, there's going to be more editions, so please do bring your friends and pick founders or investors' brain. And sometimes we do have this really nice demo nights where you have startups and you have investors pitching. So that's also really, really interesting.
So we've got the links live for next month, which is going to be the October demo nights. For all of you who've attended today, we'll go ahead and drop the link across to you. So in case you did enjoy it, the rating definitely says so. We'd like to see a lot more of you next month. And yes, with that, really excited to see this, and thank you so much for your feedback. Now, Yes, perhaps if you could have a couple more thoughts about what you feel you'd say to someone about the demo night, and what was your value, what was your value derivative from this? You can do that on NT as well.
It's very strange. Usually, you know, you go into this type of events and you say, don't use that thing, just get it away, just hide it. Like, don't use it. We're always, especially we're the ones that we're presenting. And now we're like encouraging you, please use it very much, actively. Again, your feedback would be very, very appreciated. And the next one? If there's anything that we could do, thank you. So that's also great
Natural light.
Natural light.
The good news is that next month at Bays, I think Sam, are we on the same place?
Yeah, 7th floor.
Okay, so 7th floor, view of Finsbury Square, great big floor-to-ceiling windows, very lush.
Oh.
Just very, very fancy.
Yes, well, yeah. It's nice. We did our launch event back in June at that one.
Lovely space.
We need some alcohol next time. Some alcohol next time.
I've got the budget, guys, and I put the order in yesterday.
So more alcohol, more feedback, is that what you're saying? You're going to write more?
I'm very thirsty. Hard work.
Can I ask a question, actually? Because I am literally organising next month's. Wine, beer, soft drinks, so red, white, soft drinks. Is that what you want? And pizza, more pizza, or do you want sandwiches? I don't mind. What do you think is good?
Pizza is always good.
Pizza's easy.
Yeah, I think it's easy. So red, white, beer, and some non-alcoholic beer and some soft drinks. Sorry?
Just ordinary sparkling.
No sparkling. Sorry, what did you say?
Something healthy.
Healthy food.
Yeah, with just too much.
Can't breathe on it.
So my question is, how many are the first timers here? Can you raise the hand? Oh, it's quite a lot. Okay, so your feedback is very key to us. So if you have any feedback, please do tell us how we can improve. That would
I
be
think
great.
you guys run it, I've been in many of these events, and you guys run it so well. It's such a small event, but everybody's so lovely, and all the presentations were so well done, so you guys are doing a very good job.
Thank you, thank you.
It's great.
We will always improve, we will always improve. And over to you, Stu.
Okay, so we're done. Drink the dreams, because they're Sam's, so drink them all. Eat the pizzas, meet each other, and if there's somebody here you haven't spoken to already, just make a point of shaking hands and just saying hello. I don't think anybody here is too young to not do that, so maybe there. Arguably. Okay?
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, guys.
You want to do the live drawing? Yeah. That's something we just talked about. Do you want to close out, Sam, with final word?
No, I think you've covered everything. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.